Happy Monday. My name's Shelly, and you are listening to Anything Goes. This is my second podcast. I started my first one last Monday, and I'm still very excited to be working on a podcast. So, this past weekend, I asked my listeners what topics they wanted me to discuss, and I got some good responses. I've chosen two of them that I think are really important, especially right now. One is talking about the economy, and the other is racial segregation. Two very important topics that I would like to discuss today. I'm going to start with the economy, and I would love your feedback once the show is over on both topics. So to start off with, I think it's important to understand what's going on in the world of business, finance, and how regular everyday people are struggling in this economy. Now, regardless of whose fault it is that the economy is taking a dump, it's something that we need to open our eyes about. People are working for basically slave wages, and corporations feel that if they raise minimum wage, they're going to have to raise prices. And I'm a firm believer in inflation is just a fancy word for greed. I feel that's true. There's really no reason to continuously raise prices on everything so that no one can afford to purchase anything. Prices of everything are going up, and it's insane, and it's crushing the economy. I've been on job websites recently, and starting salaries for entry-level positions are low. And I don't understand how people are supposed to make a living if their wages are $10 an hour. Even $10 an hour is not going to get you a decent sized, even a studio apartment in any major city. Now, I live in Denver, and everything's getting expensive here because so many people are moving here. People are moving from California because the economy there is ridiculous. Prices of everything are skyrocketing, and they have a drought, and my mother lives there, and I spoke to her recently, and this drought is not as bad as mainstream media will have you believe, but people are definitely moving away from California, and they're moving to Denver. And they're probably moving to other cities because the economy there is really bad. People cannot live on the wages that they're making unless they're a CEO or unless they work for the government. That's a whole other topic in itself that I'm not going to get into today. I think what we need to do is really, honestly, I think what we need to do is have these corporate CEOs work for the wages that they're paying their employees. Between, what is it now? Minimum wage is $8.50, I think. Between $8.50 and $15 an hour. And really, with the taxes that are taken out every paycheck, these people are not going to be able to live on $8.50 to $10 an hour or $15 an hour. I've done it, and it is a struggle, and it is not helping the economy. We need to do something, and we need to do something fast. Otherwise, people are going to be living in poverty, and millions of people already are, which is very sad. And it seems to me that we need to get these people some kind of job skills, maybe, or free training. I know social services does that, but you have to meet a certain criteria. And these companies are not making it easy for people to make a decent wage. Now, if people are making a good wage, they're buying more, which in turn boosts the economy. I don't know about any of you, but I do know that right now people are in foreclosure, and it's reminiscent of the 2008 housing bust that I was a part of, not as a homeowner, but I worked in title closings. And I saw so many foreclosed homes being purchased at below market value. And it's really sad. And things are not changing. The current administration is really not doing anything to help boost the economy. Corporations are getting tax breaks and bailouts. How does that help the economy? Car manufacturers, when they got their bailout, it did not help the economy at all. We're still plummeting. And I think that it's time for the people to stand up and say, look, this is not going to work. We're not making a living wage. We can't afford to buy goods and services without going broke. People are in debt with credit cards and student loans, and it's all about, oh, go to school and get an education for a better job, and all you're doing is going further into debt. $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in student loans that you're working to pay for. It's not working to make a decent wage. You're going to college to find a good job so that when you find a job, all you're doing is paying back your student loans and going deeper and deeper into debt because the interest rate is ridiculous. I know that to be true because I did it. So then you're forced to get credit cards with high interest rates so that you can pay bills and buy groceries and things like that, so that your income goes to paying your rent and paying off your student loans, which will probably never happen. I've been out of school for quite a while now, and I'm still not even scratching the surface of paying my student loans back because the interest rates are ridiculous. How does any of this help the economy? It doesn't. And it's so frustrating that these big corporate bigwigs, CEOs, do not even remember what it's like to start from the bottom. At one point, when they were younger, they too made minimum wage. And back when I was in high school and I was making minimum wage, it was $3.75 an hour. And I was in Southern California. That was still ridiculously high. I didn't have any other obligations like rent or paying bills or anything like that. But how's anybody supposed to live on minimum wage? You can't. And it's not helping the economy, like I said before. Low paying jobs that are in retail and restaurant industries, hotel industries, and you're making $15 an hour, it is not going to help boost the economy. What these CEOs need to do is take a look at what's going on. They're not interested in what's going on. They're interested in making a profit. And they can make more of a profit if they pay their workers low wages. They don't care. I mean, Walmart is one of the biggest culprits of this. Although I have noticed that they have raised their starting rates here in Colorado anyway. It's now $10.50 an hour, which is still extremely low. And I noticed that a lot of these people that are applying for jobs at places like Walmart, they used to have high-paying jobs. And now they're forced to work retail because the economy sucks. Nothing's getting better. People are frustrated. They're taking out loans that they can't afford to pay back. They're getting credit cards that they can't afford to pay back. And it's sad. Something has to be done about this. And I think that we should make a call or send an email or something to our local representatives and get some suggestions on what we can do to help. I mean, co-ops are great. I honestly think that we should go back to the barter system because then everybody is on an even level. And, you know, that might sound like communist to some people, but the barter system is not a communist idea. The barter system is, I'll do this work for you for a dozen eggs. Or if you do one day of painting my fence, I'll give you a week's worth of milk or something like that. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. That's what the barter system is. And get rid of all this money and this greed and these people who are so much better than everybody else or who think they are. Get rid of these stupid Hummers that are causing all kinds of problems with the environment, which again is another subject to discuss on another show. But we need to take a stand. We need to fight for our rights as the working class and stop this nonsense. It's ridiculous. So my suggestion is write to your local congressman and find out if there is a better solution to this. Because right now things are bad and things are just getting worse and the dollar is about to crash. And I've seen it on mainstream media and alternative news, which I prefer over mainstream media because, again, in a whole other subject, it's a big scam. They tell you what the people in charge want you to know. But it's still there. And the dollar is crashing. And it's going to make the economy even worse as time goes on. And we'll see exactly how much the value of the dollar falls. And I'll keep everybody updated on that once I hear more about it. So talk to your local congressman, senator, Here in Colorado, it's Jared Polis. And send an email. That guy is awesome. He works for the little guy. And I think that if you find out who represents you, you're going to find that these people still understand what it's like to be the average Joe. So that's my suggestion for you on the economy. And my next topic is going to be about racial segregation. So stay tuned. All right, so I'm back. And on this next segment, we're going to talk about racial segregation. Is it still an issue? A lot of people think so. I'm seeing a lot of issues with, unfortunately, this race card thing. African Americans getting blamed for everything. And let me just say, I am not racist. I think there's good and bad in everybody. And I don't really think that it's the people who are segregating themselves, although I could be wrong. I have seen it. I've seen people, avoid another race, whether it's African American, Latino, Asian, it doesn't matter. They all have their little cliques. And I've seen it since high school. It's ridiculous. But a lot of the issue, I think, is race wars. And it's not the people that are starting this. Honestly, I think it's the government. Obama in particular. He is really not a good president. I'm sorry. Regardless of what religion he is, I don't care about the color of his skin. I don't care if he was actually born in Kenya. It's the content of his character. And from what I've seen in the last 6 years, his character sucks. He's for a country that is evil, and he's made it very clear that the American people really don't matter, and he's allowing the police and the FBI and the CIA and everyone else to separate themselves, to enforce separation of the races. He may be for marriage equality, which is great, but that's not a race issue. He does nothing to help communities that are fighting for equality. The African American communities, the Latino communities, to stand together and unite with other cultures. And I think that we need to stop playing the race card. We need to just get along with one another, regardless of what nationality we are. This should not be about the color of your skin. It should be who's screwing over who. There's, like I said, there's good and bad in every race, every nationality, every culture. And being angry at one another because of that, or being afraid of one another because of that, is just plain stupid. And whoever is playing this race card needs to stop. We're supposed to be the United States of America, not the divided. And this Confederate flag issue is a bunch of crap. Okay, it's just a flag. And if you think that it represents racism, you have bigger issues than a stupid flag. My suggestion is get over it. There's no reason for the American people to be segregating themselves, because that's exactly what we're doing. We are doing this to ourselves. And it has to stop. I am probably the whitest person you'll ever know, or ever come across, or ever meet. I have red hair, freckles, and I don't tan, okay? But I've got a lot of friends who are black. I have friends who are Mexican, Spanish, Latino, whatever. I have Asian friends. And when I see these people, I don't see the color of their skin. I don't see their nationality. I see the person inside. And if we cannot start getting along with one another, there's going to be serious problems. Our government is going to make an issue of that and use it against us. The shit that happened in Missouri, it's got to stop. We're, destroying your city because of anything, for any reason, is just plain stupid. And it seems to me that because we're segregating ourselves, white people don't want to hang out with black people. Black people don't want to hang out with Latino people. And vice versa. Ridiculous. So I encourage everybody to just stop this race card thing. It is not helping any situation. We have got to stand together. And if you're segregating yourself, that's a problem that you have. Why are you doing it? Why is it so hard for everybody to just get along with each other? Stop playing the race card. White people, white power, white pride. Why can't you just have pride in being a freaking human being? Okay? Like I said, again, there is good and bad in every culture, in every race, in every nationality. Why don't we just try really hard, and it's really not that hard, to be decent human beings to one another? Then there would not be any racial segregation. I see communities where people have their own little sections of town. The Hispanics have their part of town. The whites have theirs. And people get so angry if their little part of the world is infringed upon by another race. Why? How much sense does it make? Why can't we all just get along with each other? This whole issue just makes me so angry that we cannot just get along with one another. Not everybody is bad. Not everybody is going to steal from you. You don't have to be afraid because someone's different from you. I'm so disgusted by how people treat each other because of the color of their skin, because of where they came from. This has got to stop. the race war has to stop. Be prideful of who you are and where you come from. But don't consider another race or another nationality to be less than you are. Because we're all human beings. We're all here. We have to live with one another, whether we like each other or not. Instead of making things hard on everybody and yourselves, try to get along. If you're the person who is intentionally segregating your community from another community because, say, you're a black community and you don't want anything to do with the white community, why? What did those people ever do to you? If you're a white community and you're segregating yourself from a Hispanic community, why? What did they ever do to you? We've taken it upon ourselves to feel that we are more superior to any other race, any other culture, any other skin color. And I don't care if you're black, white, green, yellow, purple, brown. It makes no difference. Everybody's doing it. And it's stupid. And it has to stop. Because this is exactly what they want us to do. They want to divide and conquer. If we stick together as united as we're supposed to be, they can't win. We're all human beings, and we all share this planet, and we all share this community, whatever community we happen to live in. Let's just be decent to one another and stop separating ourselves. Let's stop dividing ourselves from one another. Everyone is good and bad in their own way. Every race, every skin color. It doesn't matter. It's time for us to be the United States of America again. Don't let them separate us. That's what we're doing, and we shouldn't be doing that. So, if you are with me, please feel free to comment on that. And I look forward to getting your feedback. And I hope that you have a terrific rest of your Monday and a terrific week. And I will be back next week to discuss whatever topics you want to hear about. So this is Shelly Meyer. Thank you for listening to Anything Goes. And I will see you next week. Thank you and have a great day.